And joining us now, James Taylor, professor of politics at the University of San Francisco, and political analyst Brian Sobel. Earlier on our newscast, you suggested that Mike Pence had to look presidential. Was it mission accomplished tonight?
I think so. I think he turned in a very credible speech. I thought it was well written. He spoke to not only the base, but he also was the counterbalance to Donald Trump.
What about Ted Cruz? So someone I was listening to on the radio said it's like he went to the wedding and raised his hand and said, "I object."
I can't laugh too long, but that's funny. It's something like that. He should have not showed up, but he did. And when he did, I think he tried to, you know, like Barry Goldwater famously wrote an article called "The Conscience of a Conservative." And I really do think Ted Cruz thought he was standing on principle and on his conscience, even though politically it was, I think, a mistake for him to make going forward.
In the end, will it make any difference?
No, it won't make any difference because, as Donald Trump told you, he can stand on Fifth Avenue in New York City in front of Macy's and commit violent act, and it wouldn't turn many people away. We've seen a lot of different things that have been objectionable and would have ruined every single politician before him for just one of the things Donald Trump has done. He's done 50, and we can't even, find them to weigh down on Donald Trump. So no, it wouldn't have any impact.
Yeah, along with the booze, we heard that he actually had to be escorted out along with his wife.
Yeah.
We were hearing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you know about party unity? Clearly, it seems like they still have problems with party unity, that it won't be resolved at this convention. Is that going to be a problem moving forward as we get closer to the November election?
Well, to go back to what we were talking about, Cruz clearly was positioning himself for 2020, and we've seen that before. And so the Trump nomination at this convention for him is sort of a sideshow. So to your question, yes, some people are going to come out of here unsatisfied with how this ended up. But I think by and large, Republicans will coalesce around the nominee and they'll move forward. And tomorrow night's a big, big night for Donald Trump.
Because, again, the one thing that unifies them all is Hillary Clinton.
What does Donald Trump have to do tomorrow?
Donald Trump has to give a good speech. Donald Trump has to pretend to be presidential. Donald Trump has to.
What do you mean by pretend?
He has to balance being both a statesman and also a reality TV star, because that's what's worked. I mean, up until today, when we saw this behavior by Ted Cruz, this is reality TV. I mean, millions of people were watching this, and I think Donald Trump has to try to steer the ship correctly to calm everything down, the way he did tonight, the way he came out to try to project himself as the biggest personality in the room, even as he was being insulted by Cruz.
Does he use a teleprompter, or would that kind of
Donald Trump will use a teleprompter. He has to, but then he needs to put it down real quick and then just go off the cuff. Because,
yeah, well, I think if he's trying to do both, it's got the potential to be not so good.
Well, we were commenting about how casual and how calm Newt Gingrich was tonight.
Well,
he just looked like he was talking to...
Looked like a natural. And it was a really good speech for who he was speaking with. And like you say, totally natural. We'll have to see how Trump does tomorrow night.
So after the convention, there will be about 100 days until the election. Does Donald Trump have the ground forces?
I've been mostly wrong about Donald Trump throughout this primary, but I just think at some point the traditional metrics kick in. They do matter. They've worked for centuries, and they matter. And at some point, Donald Trump has to have a ground game. Real quickly, you can go back to 2008. Both Hillary Clinton and Rudy Giuliani had these national personalities, national reputations like Donald Trump, and they thought that would work. You have to have a ground game, and Barack Obama taught that lesson in 08.
And that's what you've been talking about.
I've been talking about it all along, that if you don't have people in every state helping to marshal the resources, I don't care how you're doing on a national poll level, state by state, you're going to get beat. And that's going to be Donald Trump's problem going forward. He doesn't have a ground game throughout the United States.
Yes,
right. Well, leave it at that.
Yeah, huge night tomorrow night, Professor.
Yes.
And Brian, we'll see you again tomorrow night.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.